From the corner of my eye, it looms, the banyan tree, a silent sentinel in front of my house. A towering figure of the past, its gnarled roots burrow deep into the earth, its branches reaching out like skeletal fingers as if grasping for something unseen. My name is unimportant, but my story, oh, it's one that will chill your bones. You see, I live in solitude in an old house that has seen better days. The tree, this ancient banyan, is my only constant companion. It stands tall and silent, a vestige of a time long forgotten. It's more than just a tree, though. Strange things happen here. Whispers that float on the wind, shadows that dance in the moonlight, a chill that seeps into your very soul. It's as if the tree holds secrets it's not quite ready to reveal. Nightfall brings with it a sense of dread, a feeling that something is not quite right. As darkness descends, the tree takes on a life of its own. It's as if the banyan tree, standing there in front of my house, is no longer just a tree. As nightfall approaches, it transforms into something more, an entity, a presence that is both eerie and unsettling. Under the moonlight, the leaves of the tree rustle in the wind, creating a symphony of whispers. It's a sound that is not just heard, but felt. The whispers, they resonate in my bones, echoing through the silence of the night. They are not just whispers, but conversations, tales, secrets shared by the tree. Every rustling leaf, every whispering wind seems to be telling me something I can't quite comprehend. It's as if the tree is speaking, but in a language that's foreign to me. The shadows, they too have a story to tell. They seem to move, dance, and sway to a rhythm of their own. The shadows cast by the banyan tree are not just mere silhouettes, but living, breathing forms. They creep into my room, crawl on the walls, and play tricks on my mind. I see shapes, figures, faces in these shadows, faces that are not just figments of my imagination, but something more real, something that's there. There have been instances, countless instances, when I have woken up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, feeling watched. Watched by the tree, watched by the shadows, watched by the whispers. The feeling is unnerving. It's as if the tree has eyes and it's watching me, observing me, studying me. The nights are no longer calm, no longer peaceful. They are filled with whispers, shadows, and a sense of dread. Sleep eludes me as the whispers grow louder and the shadows dance with a mind of their own. The banyan tree, it's no longer just a tree. It's an entity, a presence that's both eerie and unsettling, a presence that haunts my nights. The whispers aren't just whispers anymore. They sound like voices, familiar yet distant. They echo in the eerie quiet of the night, a haunting melody that's both captivating and terrifying. It's as if the banyan tree is whispering its tales, secrets buried deep within its ancient roots, carried by the wind and into the stillness of my home. These whispers, they're no longer just a random rustle of leaves or the soft murmur of the wind. They've gained a cadence, a rhythm, like a language I can't comprehend. But it's not the incomprehensible language that chills me to the bone. It's the feeling of familiarity, the sense of déjà vu that makes my heart pound in my chest. I can hear my name, or at least what sounds like my name. It's spoken softly, almost lovingly, like a mother calling out to her child. But there's something off, a certain eeriness that sets my nerves on edge. It's my name, yet it sounds alien, as if it's being spoken from a place far, far away. There are times when I can almost make out entire sentences, phrases that seem to carry an urgency, a desperation. But as soon as I try to focus, to figure out the words, they dissolve into nothingness, leaving only the echo of my name and a chilling sense of dread. Voices whisper from the shadows, voices that sound like echoes of the past. And then it hits me, a realization as cold as the grave. I recognize these voices. They're not just any voices. They belong to people I once knew, people who are no longer with us, people who have crossed over to the other side. The whispers are their voices, their stories, their pleas echoing through the night. Fear grips me as I recognize the voices. They belong to people no longer of this world. The shadows aren't just shadows anymore. They take forms familiar yet distorted. As twilight descends, the banyan tree, once a beacon of serenity and daylight, morphs into a sinister entity, casting eerie silhouettes against the dimly lit house. These shadows, once harmless, have begun to shapeshift, assuming human-like forms that are grotesquely distorted. Their movements, uncannily synchronized with the rustling of the banyan leaves, instill a terror that chills me to the bone. It's as though they've taken a life of their own, existing independently of the tree that casts them. As the night grows darker, the shadows grow bolder. Their forms become clearer, more defined. They stretch, twist and contort, creating an unholy spectacle on the walls of my home. I can see them out of the corner of my eye, even when I try to ignore them. They're always there, lurking, watching, waiting. There have been instances, too many to dismiss as mere figments of my terrified imagination, where these shadows seem to reach out to me. They extend long, gnarled appendages, creeping closer and closer. Each time I retreat, my heart pounding, my breath catching in my throat. But no matter where I go, they're always there, just at the edge of my vision. The fear is relentless, gnawing at my sanity. I can't escape it, no matter how hard I try. Each night is a new ordeal, a fresh wave of terror. The once comforting confines of my home now feel like a claustrophobic trap. My refuge turned into a prison. The banyan tree, once a symbol of life and prosperity, has become an omen of dread. Its shadows, the twisted marionettes, dance their macabre ballet, plaguing my nights with fear and anxiety. Frightened, I find myself trapped in my own home, a prisoner of the ominous banyan tree. The voices, the shadows, they all lead me to a horrifying conclusion. There's a chill in the air as I share my theory with you, a theory that sends shivers down the spine. The banyan tree, the ancient sentinel standing guard outside my home, isn't just a tree. It's something more, something dark and dreadfully alive. Fueled by my fear and curiosity, I've delved into the past, scouring through dusty records and forgotten lore. I've tried to piece together the cryptic puzzle, looking for a pattern, a clue, anything that could explain the eerie occurrences that surrounded this tree. What I found was nothing short of chilling. This tree, this seemingly innocent part of nature, has a grisly past. There were stories, whispers of unexplained disappearances, of people vanishing without a trace, and all these stories had one thing in common: the banyan tree. I stumbled upon tales of deaths too, deaths that were as mysterious as they were terrifying. Each victim was found under the banyan tree, their faces frozen in an expression of pure terror. No cause of death was ever determined, their ends as enigmatic as the tree itself. As I dug deeper, I found legends, old as the tree, that spoke of the banyan as a dwelling place for spirits. These weren't benevolent spirits, but restless souls trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. These spirits, it was said, could ensnare the unwary, pulling them into the shadow of the tree and into the realm of the dead. The whispers in the night, the shadows that danced and flickered, they were not figments of my imagination. They were these trapped souls, reaching out, crying for release, or perhaps looking for company in their eternal solitude. The banyan tree in front of my house isn't just a tree, it's a gateway to the other side. It stands there, a silent sentinel, a portal between our world and the realm of spirits, between life as we know it and the chilling unknown. Tonight, the whispers are louder, the shadows more menacing. The ominous banyan tree outside my house seems to have unleashed a force beyond my comprehension. The whispers that were once gentle murmurs have turned into screeching pleas, echoing into the night. They are no longer whispers, but rather cries of desperation, a cacophony that sends chills down my spine. The shadows, once mere figments of darkness, have taken on a life of their own. They dance and flit around, more aggressive, more tangible. They reach out as if trying to grasp something, or someone. I can feel them closing in on me, their icy touch a promise of impending doom. My heart pounds in my chest as I retreat into the so-called safety of my house, but the momentary relief is shattered when the door slams shut behind me. I turn around and there, standing in my living room, is the shadowy figure,